A significant number of these youth, in desperate quest to survive, formed criminal gangs that wreaked havoc across Teso region.
During the 2021 general elections, some local political leaders in Kumi, that they recruited groups, different gangs and groups of younger people that in a way to confer support for them. But in between there, they were left unattended to, and they went viral. And these are the young boys, a number of them that you see, they have been reported and they are being arrested by our police in engaging into wrongful activities. But as I speak now, we have sat many times with them. We have tried to engage a number of meetings as the stakeholders of security with them. They call them ECOC, sometimes they call them OWOKOK. And we have held meetings with them.
Many of these young people are people who have dropped out of school due to lack of school fees. There are people who have finished institutions, they have finished, courses, but they have no jobs. So these guys are very vulnerable. And now they are being used by politicians to park them on trucks, to go make noise. They are given alcohol, they drink alcohol and go make noise. And they are basically trained to be this violent kind of force, so that maybe during the elections, these people can protect vote. But the unfortunate bit is that after these politicians have used them, trained them to be violent, to be militant, they leave them after they have won elections and they go to Kampala. And so what happens to this militant army that has been left behind? They continue causing havoc in society. The future is very black if we don't rise up as leaders and, for example, give these young people survival skills. Because now, the only survival skills they have is to go militant.
Some residents and local leaders have reported that similar occurrence is brewing in the region, and many youth are again being lured into mobilization groups for different politicians, and violent confrontations have been reported in some villages in the region.
These politicians exploited that progressive vacuum in these young people by giving them that promise, the illusion of that if we work together, we will do this for you. So being a young man who has future plans and expectations, he is forced to tag along the promise of a better tomorrow from the particular politician. Many of these young people who acted violent acted out of the hope they gave them to see how to please the people who gave them the hope of a better tomorrow. If you gave an example of ECOC and OWOKOK, all of us know how much havoc they cause in our communities. Until some of them got arrested, got detained and taken to court, and eventually the so-called MPs and people who deployed them were not anywhere closer to protecting them.
Like we know what happened in Soroti County, where a candidate ferried some members within town here, youth, most especially in Soroti County, and we had one of the candidates being beaten, and he ended up where? In India for treatment. It was also noticed during the presidential visit here in Soroti Sports Ground, where we had a team of boys moving around, as if they were giving morale towards the president, yet they were looting people. I want to bring this very clear to my fellow youth there outside, that we should not be used by our leaders here for their selfish gains. Take for example my youth who were in Soroti County. They are now in prison. The politician who brought you out for that violence is out and is surviving with his family, is enjoying. So I do not really support the issue of electoral violence in terms of being mobilized to beat others in favor of somebody.
Local authorities are taking note of these developments, with some politicians attempting to bridge the gap between their former supporters and the discontent mobilizers.
But also those ones who had become staunch criminals, police decided to take an action, as you know, that there is nobody who's above the law. Police, their work is to keep law and order. So some of them, they were arrested and they were subjected to high court, and some of them stayed in high court, in jail for about 5 years. And when they came back, others had reformed. So I want to say that it's not true that we are using the youth and then we dump them. It's not true. Personally, for me, I have the mature people in my camp whom I'm using to go and to look for votes. And honestly speaking, after, we have always sat with my team, and I've never forgotten about them. But about using the youth and we neglect them, no.
The youth say alternative avenues for political engagement are needed, emphasizing that they must not only be seen as voters, but as integral components of the community and democracy.
We need to open up the skills center for them so that even if tomorrow comes, these leaders will not look at the money that they are being given, but they look at the services that the leaders will deliver to them, which will help them tomorrow.
The regrouping of Teso youth is both a cry for help and a warning signal to politicians and community leaders. And if the voices of these young mobilizers continue to be ignored, their frustrations may manifest in ways that could destabilize the very foundation of Teso's socio-political landscape.